Hey y'all, it's Hans. Welcome back again this week. So the last video we did the first hunt and impressions with the Pulsar Thermion XP50. Ready to give the full review. Been using this, the brand new Thermion from Pulsar. Been using it for the last month or so. Been hunting with it every night. Feel like I've got enough information to give a full review on it. We're going to get right into it. We've got a lot to talk about. But the Pulsar Thermion XP50, if you're watching this video, it's August 2019. These units are just now starting to trickle into the dealers. I know Outdoor Legacy Gear, if you go to outdoorlegacygear.com, you can check out their inventory and see if they've got this in stock. If they don't, it's a short wait until they've got more coming back in. But these units are slowly but surely starting to hit the dealers, and I know there's a lot of anticipation from a lot of people that are either on a waiting list for a Thermion or are thinking about getting on the list for the Thermion. But you may be watching this video and trying to figure out if you want to, go and stick with the Trail models, which they're still selling. Pulsar's still selling the Trail models, and the dealers are still selling them as well. I know Outdoor Legacy Gear has all the Trail units in stock right now, August 2019. So people are still trying to decide, and they're calling in, should I stick with the Trail model that's been out for a couple years and is tried and true and know works very, very well, or should I go with the Pulsar Thermion? So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the Trail XP50, the Thermion XP50, look at the differences, the advantages of the Thermion model over the Trail. Obviously, we're going to be mixing in some thermal videos from the Thermion as I speak here, so you get to see some footage with this unit, as well as at the end we'll talk about the likes and dislikes. But the Pulsar Thermion XP50, so really want to talk about what the difference is between the Trail XP50 and the Thermion XP50. Really, right off the top, as we've talked before, we talk about it a lot on the Late Night Vision Show podcast. If you're not subscribed to that, go check that out. It's a podcast that Jason and I at Outdoor Legacy Gear do on a weekly basis. But obviously, the look of the Thermion is a lot different than the Trail. As you know, most everybody knows what the Trail units look like. The Thermions have a more traditional rifle scope look to it, which is a great design. I know at first when I saw it, I didn't know what I'd think about it, but I find out that I actually like it more than I liked the Trail, the look of the Trail units. And I'm a big fan of the Trails. Still got a Trail XP50 and still use it from time to time. So the look is one of the biggest, obviously the biggest difference when you're talking about aesthetics and what something looks like. The second big difference is the Thermion has multiple color palettes. It has 8 different color palettes, which the Trail has just the standard white hot and black hot. Also, the Thermions have more internal memory storage, so there's quite a bit more internal memory storage for videos and pictures that you're taking. A lot of people are purchase scopes now, and some people are wanting scopes without the internal video recorder. These days, it's hard to find a thermal scope that doesn't have one. It's just kind of like back when you buy a car and you didn't really care about backup camera, but now it seems like every car is standard coming with a backup camera. It's just one of those things. That's what the industry wants. So that's what they're starting to include in on it. So more memory, internal memory on the Thermion. Really, the resolution, 640 resolution, 50 hertz refresh rate, that is all the same as the Trail. So the Trail resolution micron and refresh rate is exactly the same as the Thermion XP50. No difference there. Another big difference is the battery setup. So the Trail units have the one big battery pack. It's a rechargeable unit. Put it on the unit charger, take it off, you get about 8 hours of runtime. The battery on the Thermions are a little bit different. You've got an internal battery that is not removable. You've got a battery on top that is removable. Both batteries are obviously rechargeable. This top unit, or this little top turret, comes off. That second smaller battery comes out, and you can mount it on a charging stand, or you can just plug the whole unit in. There's a plug right here, and it does come with a cable it connects to. a wall outlet or it connects to your computer to download videos, but you can just charge both batteries at the same time by plugging it into the wall directly into that USB connector. So those are the main differences between the Trail XP50 and the Thermion XP50. Not a whole lot of difference other than the look and design, but the multiple color palettes is a big thing. The batteries, batteries setup, charging system is a little bit different. But let's talk now about what are the advantages of the Thermion over the Trail XP50. And really, the biggest advantage, it's not the color palettes. It's really not even the battery situation or anything like that. I think the biggest advantage is going to be the mounting. So the Thermions will mount with any standard 30 millimeter rings. So why is that important? It's important for all the people out there that have in the past wanted to use a thermal scope, but they wanted to mount it on a bolt gun. And so when you have two separate rings, you have a little bit more flexibility on where you can mount that. Where on the rifle you can mount that scope more back or more forward. You can move those rings further apart. But that's the biggest advantage and what's got a lot of people excited. Even if you want to mount it on a shotgun, again, it makes it a lot more easy to do. Now, I'm mounting my Thermions with the American Defense Manufacturing quick detach mount. That's what I've got on it here. It's a one-piece cantilever mount. It's obviously quick release means you can take it off the rifle, sight it in, take it off the rifle, put it back on the rifle, and it stays to zero. So these American Defense Manufacturing mounts are rock solid. They look great. It's a one-piece mount, so it works great on all AR platforms, and that's what the most people, when they call in, that's what they're asking for, this American Defense Manufacturing mount. Of course, you can get them at Outdoor Legacy Gear, pick them up when you buy your Thermion, or if you've already ordered a Thermion and you want to mount a one-piece mount, this is a great mount as well. I've also used the Sightmark QD mount, the 30 millimeter QD mount. Works well. It's a two-piece mount, and again, a little bit more flexibility on bolt guns or shotguns or anything like that. But American Defense Manufacturing mount is rock solid, and it's a great mount. I've used this thing for the past month and have no issues at all. So let's run down the specs of the Thermion XP50 right now. Of course, it's a 640 resolution scope, 50 hertz refresh rate. It starts at a 2-power magnification and goes up to 16 power. So that's a little bit of a difference between the Trail XP50 and the Thermion XP50. The Trail started out on a 1.6, and went up to 15.3. This starts out on 2.0 and goes up to 16 power. So it's a very small difference, not too noticeable, but a little bit of a difference in the magnification levels. Of course, it does have the picture-in-picture display. It's got almost a 2,000 yard detection range, which that's a lot further than I need to see. But ID range, I'm going to say is 600-700 yards. ID and deer, that far, never had an issue. Hogs, you can tell the difference. Coyotes, the same. Rechargeable battery packs, like we talked about. So there's 2 different batteries, but if both batteries are fully charged, you'll get about 6.5 hours of runtime in 75-degree temperatures. So that's a pretty good standard bearer, knowing moving forward, if it's colder, you're going to get a little bit less runtime. If it's warmer, you may get a little bit more. So we talked about 8 different color palettes, so that's a new option in there. It's got a full-color AMOLED display, and also it is Wi-Fi capable with the Stream Vision app, which the Pulsar thermals have been that way for a long time, and this continues on with that trend. So those are the specs of the Pulsar Thermion XP50. Again, we talked about the differences of the Trail and between the Thermion. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the likes and dislikes of the Pulsar Thermion XP50. I do really like the look and the feel of the scope. The eye relief is perfect. It does come with a rubber eye cup. I've always used it on the Trail, but feel like I don't need it or want it on the Thermion. So the eye relief, when you put it up to your eye, it feels more natural. It's got a great feel to it. It does feel like the viewfinder has a bigger screen with that AMOLED display. Jason and I at Outdoor Legacy Gear, we've lined up the Trail XP50 versus the Thermion XP50 side by side. It does look like the viewfinder screen is bigger, which Obviously, that's a good positive when you're out there and it just looks like the image is bigger in your screen. It performs great. Y'all know that I'm a big fan of Pulsar. I've used them all. I use all brands, but I've used and tested all the Pulsars that are out there right now. And I have to say, this XP50 has been great. It's performed without a hitch at all. Have had no issues with it at all. So I think as far as the picture quality is great. With being able to ID at 600 and 700 yards. Do love the mounts set up with the American Defense Manufacturing mount, so that's definitely a positive. Really, I don't have any dislikes other than the fact of on the Pulsar Trails for focusing the unit, there was a knob on top, a small knob, which was very easy to use. You're basically turning this whole, there's a rubber grommet here on the end. You're basically turning this whole rubber grommet. Focus works great on it, but it was a little bit easier on the trail with that little knob as opposed to turning this big knob on here. That's a very small minor thing. Not any big dislikes to talk about or to speak of. Pulsar Thermion has performed perfectly, and I know that if you have any other questions or have any comments about it, comment below. Let me know what you think, and I can, answer all the questions that I can as quick as I can. So we appreciate all the comments and the likes and the shares and subscribing to this channel. So the next video that you're going to see after this is going to be some more hunts with the Pulsar Thermion XP50. If you are looking to purchase this unit, you can go over to outdoorlegacygear.com. You can go ahead and order the Thermion XP50 as well as the American Defense Manufacturing one-piece QD mount and get you all taken care of right there. But thank you all for joining us again this week. This has been the full review of the Thermion XP50. We'll be back soon with more hunting, more scope reviews. Please go check out the Late Night Vision Show podcast. You can find it on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, anywhere that you can find your podcast. Your favorite podcast, you can find the Late Night Vision Show there as well. Please go subscribe to us on YouTube, The Late Night Vision Show, or go to www.thelatenightvisonshow.com and go check that out. Go check out outdoorlegacygear.com, and we'll see y'all next week. More hunts with the Thermion XP50. Y'all stay safe in the fields. Keep making them bacon pancakes.
Thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, you can do so by just clicking on the HansETX logo right below me. Also, the Late Night Vision Show podcast. To subscribe to that YouTube channel, just hit this logo right here to the left. And to watch related videos, you can hit right down there in the corner. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, sharing, liking, and keep making them bacon pancakes.